Hi everyone, it's Nicole from Nicole Jones 911. If you're new to my channel because of diamond painting, I want to welcome you. And I'm going to start this diamond painting. This is Diamond Art Club. And before I started recording, I forgot to, show you the whole canvas, but I did a kitting up or getting ready all the drills. So it's the video just before this one. And it took me so long to get this set up. I didn't want to take it off. So I'll try to insert a photo of what it is, but it is called Blue Zion. And it is a 55 by 55 by Diamond Art Club. And it is a circle diamond painting, which I usually do squares. This is going to be one of my first ones that I do in circle. I had started another one, but I never did finish it because I found it was too small. It was one of the first ones that I had ever bought, and I just didn't like how it was turning out. So I kind of put it aside. I'll probably finish it someday. But so the first ones we're going to do is 125, which is an AB diamond. Look how sparkly that is. So there's only a few of them, so we'll get those going. And it is the first one on the canvas. Now, what I did was I put some washi tape there because I was having a hard time seeing where this clear canvas was sitting. And I just wanted to make sure that I didn't keep putting my hands in. Oh, my glue came right out. My wax, I guess. I didn't want to keep putting my hand on the canvas. The whole thing of glue came out. There. Okay. So what I did was I just put some washi tape, just that I had from my stash for scrapbooking. And I just put it, I don't want to go any further than that, which I probably won't today. That's kind of a big chunk to get done. But at least it kind of gives me a visual where this plastic ends. I was going to do the diamond painting upstairs in my craft room. I do a lot of scrapbooking, and I have a scrapbook room, and I have it all set up to do some process video for scrapbooking. But when I looked, I did sort of a little testing. I did those diamonds right down here and up here. With the overhead, and I found that all you could see was my hand. So I'm hoping that this works a little better and that you can see the canvas a little bit more because I'm a little bit closer to it. I'm actually downstairs in my kitchen. I have a paint easel. I'll have it link in my Amazon link down below. And so it's on an angle like this. And then I have a light pad in behind it, and it's the A3 light pad. I also have the A4 light pad, but for bigger projects like this, I like to use my A3, which is a little bigger. And you can't tell, but it goes from the top of my easel right to the bottom. So I can do about half of my diamond painting without having to even move it. It can just stay like this and I don't have to move it. Then on the top here, I have a big clip that's holding my canvas because it's wrapping on the bottom. Like, it's so big that it's wrapping to the bottom. So I wanted to make sure that it didn't move. And then on the other side of the canvas that's, going on my art easel, I took some masking tape or some tape and I taped it down so it wouldn't move. Because just this one clip that did come with my art easel, it wasn't enough for it not to move around. Now, these are Aurora Borealis diamonds, and usually there's not a whole ton on your canvas. They'll be here and there. So that in that section right here, that's the only 125s. So I'm going to put it back. And the containers that I'm using for these are just these little ones. I'll have them linked down below. I got them on Amazon and they're really awesome. They're not that great for, you know, like a big canvas. But if you have a smaller canvas, they work really well. I just like having a variety of different containers. That way, if I have a bigger canvas, I can use those, and smaller ones, I have smaller containers. This was a fairly big one, but I was using my Craftmates container, which I'll put in the description box below. I'm using that for another canvas, which I'm almost done. I'm on the last part of it. But for here, I wanted to start a brand new canvas. Let me see if I can. I want to stop it and see if I can. I know here you can see the canvas, but you don't see the colors or anything. So I'm going to try to fix this. Okay, so I'm hoping this is a little better. I'd like to be able to sit too, but that means I have to hold the colors way up there, which is kind of high for me. But this is color number 2. It is DMC 154. And I have a few of them going through there, so it's kind of a learning curve for me, just because I haven't taped one or filmed any WIP and chats before. Like I said, I've been on YouTube for a few years, but I did mostly scrapbooking. And then I started bringing in talking about books and stuff because I love to read. And then last year, around September, I started loving diamond painting. Now, the only multiple placer that I like using is the 3-placer. I don't like the other ones for some reason. I just like the 3-placer. And I'm doing this to kind of enjoy doing them. And I'm okay that I'm not rushing through it. I can see, you know, if you have a diamond painting that has a ton of one colors, like I have some of them, they're the Harry Potter ones, and they have a ton of white, for example. Well, then I could see using the 6 or 9 to get through some of those all the same color. But I find paintings that have like confetti-like, I'm okay with just using the 3. And actually this is the first time that I'm using the 3 for round. It's going pretty good. I didn't know how it was going to all end up, but I'm liking it. Okay, so I started diamond painting last September. It was actually during when like I said, I do a lot of scrapbooking, and I give classes, or I have classes for scrapbooking on my channel, I guess, or I offer scrapbooking classes. It's a different medium than, or a different place than YouTube. But I was having a class, it's called Scrapathon, and one of the ladies there, hi Heather if you're watching, she said that she was doing a diamond painting and she showed us. And I immediately went on Amazon and I ordered a few of them, and I started watching diamond painting videos, and I just became obsessed right away. I had seen it a few years, like maybe a year before, I think it was either on Facebook or maybe YouTube, you know, those ads that they have. And I was like, no, I have enough crafts that I do. I don't need the one more, right? And, but she kind of showed us a little video of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know I will totally love this. And the first few canvases that I bought were all rounds. And the paper fell. And I liked it. Like I started doing immediately, and of course Amazon, right? Prime. 2 days later, I had gotten a whole bunch of, or a couple of canvases, and then I started making them. And because I started watching the videos on them, I found out that AliExpress was selling them. And then I ended up buying quite a few. And then shortly after I started getting them, here in Canada, we ended up getting a postal strike. So getting stuff from AliExpress was taking like literally 3 months, which, you know, as it is, it's like a month and a half, right? Or a month. So 3 months was ridiculous. Then, because of the strike, and among other things, AliExpress, instead of having their free shipping for shipping to Canada, all of a sudden the shipping was like $30, $40, $50. Like it was insane. Now, thankfully, I had ordered probably at that point, maybe 20. So I had quite a bit in my stash. So I was like, whew, I'm so glad I did that because, you know, I wouldn't want to run out. And then I found out about Diamond Art Club. And the shipping to Canada, when I bought it, was like $20. And I was like, oh, that's a lot. And then, so I put stuff in my cart. And then I ended up getting an email and saying, you know, we're your first time customer or something like that, you can get 10% off. So I ended up getting like $10 or $15 off. I can't quite remember, but it basically took care of the shipping. And I was like, yes. So I ordered this one and I ordered another one, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's a little bigger than this one. And it has like a fish on it, and is it Tell Me a Story? I think it's called Tell Me a Story. And it has, I think, a keyboard, and it's just gorgeous. That one's a square. And there's a few more from Diamond Art Club that I want, but ever since I went, the shipping went up $5, so now it's like $25. So in that square, I'm all done the twos. So I'll put those away. I usually don't go in the order of like of the key, but there happens to be all those colors right there. So I'm going to go in the order so I don't have to think about finding other, you know, containers and stuff. So while I'm getting 208 out, which is like a nice light purple, and 154 was a dark purple, I'll just finish this story. And of course I spilled a bunch of 154, so that's what's taking me so long. I have to put them back in. Okay, so this is the next color. Ooh, I just spilled some more. I tipped it too much. So I can't tell if you're getting their true color because it's hard for me to see through the viewfinder. So that's that symbol right there, which is right there. I don't have a ton, but. So anyway, I was just saying that the shipping went up again, so I'm just waiting. There's a couple more I would really like and they're all from Mandy Manzano. I would really love to get a few more, but I'm either going to wait. Sometimes they have buy one, get one free, so then it would make it so that it would be, you know, worth it for me to pay the shipping. Or they have, you know, a good sale. But I have tons right now. Oh, that doesn't belong there. I have tons right now that I can work on, so I'm not in a total hurry to get some more. I'm trying to work on the ones that I have. I think one of the videos that I'll do very shortly is I want to do a video of all the ones that I finished up to now, which I think it's not too many. Just got really busy. I only started I found out about diamond painting in September. By the time I got anything, it was like, you know, middle of September by the time I got stuff, because I needed to get the light pad and all that stuff, which I did. I think the light pad too I got on Prime. But of course I ordered the diamond painting, and then I found out about the light pads because I started watching some videos on YouTube. So then I ordered a light pad, and then I started a little bit of diamond painting. And then I had that class that was lasting a whole month, so I didn't have a lot of time in September. So really I started really doing it at the end of October. I was spending a lot of time in it or doing it. And then, you know, the holidays came and I did a couple for Christmas gifts. I did buy more than a couple, but I only got 2 done before Christmas. They were both 40 by 60, so they were fairly big, and I still need to get them framed. I'm waiting that I go on I'm gonna go to IKEA and get some frames there. So when I go to IKEA, I'm gonna have a list of quite a few of the diamond paintings that, you know, I got done, but also some that I didn't get done. So I can get, because their frames are super cheap, and I'm hoping that they fit the diamond paintings really well. So in this square here, I've already finished the next color. So we'll put that away. The next color is 310, which is black, which a lot of paintings, they have a lot of 310s, and Mandy Manzano paintings do have a lot of black because she puts big lines, and that's what I like about her paintings. So just have to deal with it, right? So up to now I did 125, 154, 208, and 310. Like I said, usually that's not how I do the diamond painting, but it just worked out that in this section right here, in the corner, it started with those. So, and what I do is when I start a color, I make up a section and I do all the colors in that section. Now, smaller paintings, sometimes what I'll do is I'll open up an entire tier of it, and I do that color for the entire thing. Not that I mind changing color, it's just I like when you do an entire color, it's like, oh, you see a part of the painting getting done, and I love that. I love how it comes to life. Now I have to say that the paintings from Diamond Art Club, they're very vibrant, even without the diamonds on. You can see the picture, you can see what it's going to look like. a lot of the ones from AliExpress, you can't see though. Like you can see the outline, but you won't see how vibrant they are until you're done, because I'm trying to see where it ends here so I can move it up so I don't put my hand on the canvas. You see the end results just as you're finishing your diamond painting. I just had to put some new wax in there, and now it's going all over my diamonds. Now for the longest time, and you know, the jury's still out, but I preferred the square diamonds because I found that it covers, I mean, it just makes sense. You have a square going on a square, it's going to cover it much better than a round going on a square. And whether it has, you know, circles or not, it's still, you know, it's pixels, so it's still squares. And I mean, that's why they do print them vibrant with the circles, because it's got to make up for the color that's missing. So, you know, I'm putting black diamonds on a black square. It does have a round outline of where you should put it. But now that I've, you know, been watching a lot of diamond painting videos, and I see a lot more people, you know, they do only circles, and the diamond painting at the end is still beautiful. So, and this one here, they only sold it in circles, and I really wanted it. It so reminded me of Avatar, and it's not like I'm a huge Avatar fan. I loved Avatar, don't get me wrong, but it's not, I'm not like a die-hard fan or anything, but I do like the look of this. And actually, I also bought another one from AliExpress that's different than this one, but sort of Avatar-ish like. Oh, see, when I start chatting, I'm just all over the place. So yes, I want to do a video of all the ones that I completed. I think it's either 7 or 8. Probably by the time I able to film the video, it'll probably be either I'll be, you know, finish the 7th, or I'll be finished the 8th. I can't quite remember. I know I'm almost done another one. I'm working on the last. I divided it in 4, and I'm working on the last 4th of it. So I should finish it this week, no problem, the next couple of days. And so I want to do one of all the ones that I finished, but I want to do a video of all the diamond paintings that I have too, like that I have accumulated, and how I'm storing them. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm actually trying to figure out how I can go on and maybe find another way to store them. It worked fine up until lately, but now I'm kind of outgrowing where I'm keeping them, so I need to get a bigger container. But it did work well for up to now. And how I keep my canvases too, and that's working out really well. I might get another one of those containers, just because I'd like to have one maybe where I keep all my canvases that are completed in one, and one where I keep the canvases that are not done. Right now though, I'm kind of liking it because I put all the unfinished canvases on top of the ones that are finished, and I'm thinking that the weight of all those canvases is going to help secure the diamonds on the canvases while I'm waiting to frame them. I haven't sealed any of them. I did buy some sealant, some Mod Podge glitter. So I haven't done it because I think I want to wait and do maybe like a small one and see if I like it. I did try that other glue, that aqua glue, and I did not like it. It took away a lot of the shininess of, like, it dulled the diamonds, and it looked gunky in between the diamonds. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to use that. It didn't go to waste because, like I said, I'm a scrapbooker, so I just put it in my scrapbooking stash. I did have some prior in my scrapbooking stash, but it was super old, and I wanted to make sure that I got new stuff so that it wasn't, you know, kind of thicker because it was old. Oh, see, I thought I could do that one, but it stops right there. That's fine. There's a 2 on here. Now, one thing about the 3-placer, you don't just need to use it as a 3-placer. You can use it as a 1-placer and a 3-placer. Sometimes with the squares, I'll grab 4. Not on purpose, but 2 of them are stuck together, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'll just put you down then. I bought a canvas last week from AliExpress that I'm so excited. If I hadn't planned to do this one next, I would have done that one right away. Okay, the phone was ringing, so I had to go pick it up. It was my hubby. Okay, well, now I'm trying to pick up and it's just not picking up. And once I finish this one here, I'm going to try, I don't know, to figure out something different, or if I can, so that you could see the tray, but I don't know. I don't know if I can make that happen because I need to have this lifted the way it is. Oops. So that it doesn't hurt my back. Or I'd have to have the camera further back, which I don't know if I can do because the stand or the camera holder that I got actually clips to my countertop. I didn't get one that goes behind me, because this was the one that I found. And in trying to figure out how to record this, I broke my other one that I use for scrapbooking, so I had to buy one for that too. So I had to buy 2 holders. Now, thankfully, they're not crazy expensive. This one was $12, and the other one was $17. I'll link them in the description, in the Amazon link down below, if you're interested in having, you know, something that you can record with. The other one, I have it so that it's above me and it's like attached to a piece of wood in my scrap room. My husband set it up for me. And this one, I can attach it to my countertop. But yeah, so I don't know if I can make it that I can show more. I can probably put this down more so I can have it down here, but then that means I'm going to be hunched over, which I'm not sure I can do because of my back. Because I really like this art easel. It's usually used for like painting and stuff. Because I don't have to, I can keep my back straight because at the beginning I was doing a bit of diamond painting, and then it was like, oh my goodness, my back is killing me. I went to my massage therapist and she was like, what have you done to your back? And that's what it was. So then I bought this art easel, and it's much easier on the back. So I don't want to go back to that for sure. I go to the massage therapist once a month, but I don't want to go because I hurt my back diamond painting. I go because my job, which if you're new to my channel, you know, or even if you've been around for a little bit, I'll just talk a little bit about what I do for a living, I guess, just to fill in the time. I'm a ambulance dispatch. It's called emergency medical dispatch. I've been there for over 12 years. I was full-time for 10 and a half years. And then now I'm part-time. And what that involves is when you call 911, it goes to a police station. And if you say that you need medical help, they will transfer you to us. It's just a touch of a button. It doesn't take long at all. And then they decide whether you also need fire and police, and they send them along. And then you talk to an operator where I work, which is ambulance dispatch. Then the call taker will ask you a series of questions and determine, within 10 seconds, then the call is in the queue, and then the dispatcher will assign an ambulance to the call. So it's something that happens really quickly, that you get help on the way. Now, I can go one day and I am, because I've been there for so long, I can do the call taking job, but I can also do the dispatching job, which is, that you dispatch the ambulance and you send the paramedics to the call at the same place, are very different. One job, you're talking to the people that need help and you're helping them until help arrives. And the other one is you are dispatching the ambulance to the call. Both jobs are extremely stressful, and people that come in usually, to listen because they're interested in the job or for whatever reason, they always think that the call taking part of it would be, the most stressful part, because you're telling people how to do CPR on their loved ones, you're controlling bleeding, you're trying to find out where they are, all this stuff. But the most stressful job is the dispatching, because when you're on a 911, you're on one call at a time. And when you're dispatching, you could be dispatching, a lot of calls at once, and you have to move vehicles to provide coverage, and it's very involved. And I did it for, like I said, 10 and a half years full time. I tried it, we'll say, different ways. I did it for a year and a half that I only did night shifts, because nights are not as busy. And this was like toward the end before I went part-time. I did it that I would change my shifts and only did nights for a year and a half because it was less busy. Okay, the phone rang again. Oops. Oh, I just spilled black diamonds everywhere. It's okay, I'll pick them up after. So I did that for a year and a half, which yes, it was less busy at night, but I came to a point that I could not sleep during the day. So I was working all night, and then I would come home and sleep for maybe 3 hours, and then I'd have to go and work again for 12 hours. Our shifts are 12 hours, and you work 4 days or 4 nights in a row, or the normal shift is 2 days, 2 nights, and then 5 days off, which, you know what, 5 days off sounds like a lot, but it is not in this field. We have a lot of high turnaround. So I did that for a year and a half, and then a position opened up where it was all days. And I thought, you know what? Like, my body was all messed up. I was anemic for a good 8 years. I kept losing weight because I was anemic. If I took all the iron that I wanted, I still could not get my iron to go up. And it was, a serious thing, because if you're anemic for too long, it can cause CHF. And, 8 years is, it's a long time to be anemic. And every time I went, there was always something wrong. My potassium was low, my vitamin D was, they could only find traces of it. The doctor asked if I lived in a cave. That's how bad it was. And then so I thought, well, I'll do only days, because that position came up. I didn't have to trade shifts or anything. It was just a day position. It was for a year. So I thought, perfect, I'll do it for a year. And then, because the girl that actually got the position was on maternity leave. She was one person above me. So she was on maternity leave, so she got the position, but where she was on maternity leave, I was the next one in line, so I ended up getting it for a year, which was fine. I did that for a year. Now, if you remember, I said the reason I went to nights was because I figured nights would be easier because they're not as busy, so therefore not as stressful. So I did a little over a year of only day shifts. And because I'd been there a long time and we have a high turnaround, a lot of times, quite a few days in a row, I would have the busiest spot, sometimes 2 or 3 of my rotation. So I was in a high stress position a lot of the time. And after a year, and after being there for, this was I was at my 9th year, I burnt out big time. So there was one day something happened. It wasn't even that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of a deal at all. But I lost it. I was crying. So anyway, on my lunch hour, I went to talk to one of my managers. She's the one that trained me, and she said, Nicole, you've been talking for years to go down to part-time. Why don't you just go to part-time? And I said, well, we're always missing people. And she said, yes, that's very good of you, but your health is what matters here. And your body is telling you that you cannot do this full-time anymore. And then she told me about the position that I'm in now, which I work, it's on a 9-week rotation, and it's always the same. So I work, basically it's my rotation starts, it's 3 days, 1 night, which is, I mean, that's really close to what I did before, right? I did 2 days, 2 nights, or 4 days, or 4 nights. But then I have 15 or 16 days off. It depends on the rotation. Like on, sometimes it's 15, one of the times it's 15, the other time is 16. And then I go back and then I do 2 days, 1 night. And then I have another 15 or 16. One of them is 15, the other one is 16 days off. And then I go back and then I do 2 days, 1 night. And then I have 23 days off. So that it's like 3 weeks off. Yes, in that rotation there, I don't get a pay because I don't work for, I just work for the days that I just get paid for the days that I actually work. So, you know, there's a rotation that I don't get a pay. Now, it'll be 2 years in June that I started that, and I absolutely loved it. But, you know, we are not in a position for me to just be home and not work. And, you know, it's a pretty decent paying job. So I couldn't leave there and go to something that paid a whole lot less. But part-time, I was like, okay. I started YouTube, 6 years ago. And I started giving or offering scrapbooking classes online, I'd say 4 years ago. So between that and being on YouTube and my classes and part-time, I'm able to just stay part-time, which I am so thankful for. So if you're new to my channel and you like scrapbooking classes, you can just click on the link down below. It's I must have, I don't know, maybe 12 at this point that I have available for scrapbooking. And I thought to myself, this is so relaxing for me, this diamond painting, that I thought I would do some videos for YouTube and get to share the fun that is diamond painting. What I love, I'll tell you what I love about diamond painting, okay? One, when you buy a kit, I think it's, you know, probably one of the first times that I found a craft that when you buy a kit, you have everything that you need to make that project. So when they sent me this painting, I had the canvas, I had the pen, I had a tray, I had the wax. I had everything that I needed to make that specific project. Now, is there stuff that you can get that make your life easier? Absolutely. That's like any other craft, right? Like the light pad. I need glasses to read, so I absolutely need a light pad to see this. It doesn't matter how clear the symbols are, I'm going to need a light pad. That's just how it is. You know, there's, I got sticky pads, and again, everything's going to be on the Amazon link that I put in behind my light pad, because this light pad here is a little thicker, and it just fits on my art easel, and I'm afraid that it would, slip and then fall on the ground and break. This light pad is a little bit more expensive than the A4 one. The A4 one you can get for, I think, like $20, $23 or something. And the bigger one is about $45. So I don't want to break it. I baby the stuff once I purchase it. I spent money on that stuff, so I'm going to baby it. Now, to get back to what I do, I think what I'll do is in this video, there's a few years ago, there was a major call that came in, and the company that I work for did a video to show you how it works, like how everything goes down kind of thing when a call comes in. And it's a really cool video, and it really, you might have to, watch it a couple times. It's only 2 minutes, but just to get all sort of the pieces, like it'll tell you that the green dots are ambulances that are there and available, ready to take a 911, and the red dots are ambulances that are responding to a call and all this stuff. And then you actually hear part of the 911, and then the dispatcher that you hear at the very beginning and at the very end, and sometimes in the middle, but you hear a few dispatchers. You hear 3 of us, and it just happened that it was 3 girls. So you hear 3 of us, and it talks about dynamic deployment and all that stuff. So I'll attach that in the description below so you can go see what a little bit of my job, what it is. And another reason that I didn't, quit my job is I actually love my job. I love what I do, and I love, the importance of it. We have a big part of the emergency medical system, Not a part that gets talked about a lot because we're in the background, and a lot of times we get forgotten that we were part of that at all. But we're there. So, okay, so that's my job. I talked about scrapbooking and how that is a big part of my life. If you're new to scrapbooking, just go check out some of my other videos. And scrapbooking has to do with your pictures, which is another important part of our life, right? It's kind of our history and what we, kind of our mark on this earth. So I love documenting our life. But more than that, I love the creative part of it. And it has to do with your photos, and it has, papers and embellishments and all that fun stuff. So I love doing that too. I've always been sort of a creative person, I guess. Years ago, I did toll painting, which is T-O-L-E, toll painting, which is wood and paint, decorations for your house and stuff. I really loved it. I did it for years, and we did craft fairs and all this stuff to sell our stuff and, that kind of stuff. And then kind of got out of that, and then I did cross stitch, which diamond painting is very close to cross stitch, right? A lot of people wouldn't say so, but it is, because the dots are using the DMC floss. It's basically, you're putting color, but instead of putting an X, you're putting a dot. which I still love cross stitch when I still have a bunch of stuff. But I mentioned that I have, because I have to wear glasses and stuff, I found that it was giving me headaches because you just had to concentrate so much on the pattern and stuff. And I'm trying to find a spot where I can put these 3, but there's none. So I'll just put 2, and then I'll drag the other one over here. So it's not that I don't love cross stitch, is that it was just giving me headaches. So this is kind of the better option for me. And that's what I love about it. I love all those little diamonds. I love organizing them. And I'll show you how I'm keeping the extras, because I don't get rid of the extras. And I know most paintings have enough. Like, I haven't ran out of any as of yet. There's a couple of times when I did my inventory. I still do my inventory only because if they forgot to send me a color, I do send the company a little email and see if they'll send it to me, because I did pay for the full kit. But I've had one company that, I send them like a message on AliExpress 3 or 4 times, and they just completely ignored me. And I just went and just ordered it. But where I have to order from AliExpress, it takes like 5 or 6 weeks to get here. And a little package like that is not always guaranteed to make it. So I tried to order maybe 3 or 4 colors, so it's like a bigger package, but they're like 99 cents each. It's not like the end of the world. And there's like 2,000 in a package or something, which is usually more than what I need. So I'll order 3 or 4 colors. What I do is, if I'm doing the inventory, and let's say they said, you were supposed to have 576, and they gave me 3 packages of 200. Well, for me, 25 is kind of cutting it close, because it seems every time I open a color, no matter how hard I try, there's always at least 3 or 4 or even 1 that spills out every time I open the darn package. So I have a little list that I keep. And then if I open a canvas and there's actually one missing, then I'll put in an order and order all the ones that were really close. And then I just keep all my extra in a container, because they come in a little jar, which I love. So, I'll order like $6 or $7 worth of little enamels. At one point, I ordered all 447 colors of the squares so that I would have 1 package each as extras. And I started to divide them. I didn't quite finish. And I'm going to find a way to store them so that they're all separate, so I can find them easily. And the same with, trying to see where this ends. Oh, just there. So I'm just going to finish that. I love doing the outline. And then you can kind of pick and say, okay, now I'm going to do, oops, sorry if I moved you. I'm going to do all the T's, or So I think I did a lot of the black. I think I'm going to finish, oops. I'm going to finish these here, and then I went a little bigger than I wanted to, but you're still in the viewfinder. So I find when I start on something, I like to finish it. And I'm like that in real life too, so. And that's why I found it kind of funny that at one point I had I think I had 3 canvases that I had started, and then I had this one that I wanted to start too. I hadn't started it yet, but I was prepping for it. And then I was like, okay, this is just way too many that I have started. So what I did was I finished one over the weekend just so that I could have it finished. Now I'm working on that other one, which I plan on finishing this week. And then I'll only have this one and a smaller one. And the smaller one, it's okay if I don't finish it. I like to bring it places. It's really small. It's like, I can't even remember, 20 by 30 or something. And so it's great to just bring somewhere, and I don't even think I need a light pad for that one. And then I can diamond paint on the go. I think I'll finish the black right up to there, and then I'll switch colors. So I don't know how long I should make this video. I was hoping to finish an entire section, but this does take a bit of time. And the last 3, I can use my 3 placer, and I'm going to, or the last 3 spots, I should say. So another thing that I really love doing is to read. Now, last year, I guess this video is kind of like get to know me kind of thing. Last year, I read 121 books. Absolutely love to read. And I love to read like physical books. So I like to sit down with a book in my hand and reading them. But other ways that I love to read is to read on my Kindle. So usually what I do is I'll read a physical book until my husband comes to bed. I have a lamp beside my bed, but usually I'll finish whatever chapter I was reading, and then I have a book that I read on my Kindle so that I can read and not, bother him so he can sleep, because he's, got to work in the morning. So I'll switch to my Kindle or my iPad. I have the Kindle app on my iPad too. So sometimes I don't feel like reading on my Kindle. I'll just grab my iPad and read on my iPad. Okay, so now let's do L. And L is, it's L in a circle. The only thing that I wish that Diamond Art Club had was, is that L? Yeah. Was an inventory sheet, because I don't like looking on the side of the canvas. Now, someone was saying 823. Someone was saying that you can go on their site and you can print the legend or whatever. 823, which is a nice blue. This blue right here, and I can't tell if you can tell what that is. Now I'm just trying. I'm trying to use like natural light, because my door is behind me, which is like patio doors, so that offers a lot of natural light. And then I have a window here, and then I have some light over here above my counter, and I put the light on behind me. Now, once I look at the video and I find that it's not good lighting, I did find a light on Amazon that I can clip on here, and get more lighting. So I might do that if I find the light is not good enough, because I plan to have some WIP and chats every Wednesday. So I'm going to get myself all organized so that I can do that. Eventually I might do some lives. Okay. Is that the only L's? No. So yes, I was talking about books. Now, another way that I enjoy books is audiobooks. Now, I don't, I guess, listen or read as many on audiobooks as I do like regular books. But what I found was diamond painting is the perfect way to listen to an audiobook. Because if you watch TV, I find for me anyway, if I watch TV while I'm diamond painting, I have to concentrate on the colors that I'm using, the symbol, where I need to put it, and I have to keep looking up. But with an audiobook, everything is done by hearing. So I'll put an audiobook now, and I'll sit down and I'll listen to an audiobook for an hour. And I love that. Another way I love to listen to audiobooks is, let's say if I'm reading a book and I'm right into it, but you got stuff to do. You got to cook supper, you got to do laundry and all that stuff. I'll find the audiobook, and I'll have a link down below for Scribd. In Canada, anyway, it's $8.99 per month, and it's unlimited. Now, I do the quotation mark because it's not really unlimited. I think they, after like maybe 4 or 5, they kind of cut you off until the next month. Now, I had that happen more a few months ago. I haven't had it happen to me lately. But it's awesome. They have a awesome variety on there. And so, if I'll be reading a book physically, and then I got to go make supper, what I do is I find out where I am in the audiobook, and it's really easy because, it goes by chapters. So then I just go to the chapter and I listen for as long as it takes me to get supper done. Sometimes I'm like, no, I'm right at a good part. I don't want to go make supper. And what I bought, one of the things I bought, which was a really good purchase, I have these earphones. Now, I didn't want to get cordless because I was afraid to lose them, but these are only attached to each other, and that's it. So you need Bluetooth, but you just put them on your head and they don't fall, and then you can do, you just put your phone or whatever that you have your audiobook close to where you are, just so that it can reach it by Bluetooth, and then go about making your supper, go about, cleaning your house, and you get to listen to an audiobook. And then you're going to think I'm hardcore. I got a Bluetooth speaker for my shower, because then when I go have a shower, I listen to an audio. I keep listening to my audiobook because, hey, I don't know if it's because of my job and everything we do, we multitask to, crazy. Even when I went to get my glasses, and she's like, oh, well, you should get these glasses. And I'm like, no, I can't, because I have like 8 or 9 screens that I have to watch. And those progressives, or whatever they're called, they make me sick because my eyes have to go like this the whole time. And she's like, oh no, those are not good for you. So I have what you call computer glasses. Guess how many pairs of glasses I have? That's another fun fact. And it's not because I want, 7 different pairs of glasses because I like the fashion of the glasses. No. I have a pair of glasses to watch TV. That is a certain strength. I have a pair of glasses that I have for work because they're set so that, because the computers they're not your regular computers that, you're sitting right in front of it. They're quite a ways, like away far from you. So I needed a distance for that. Then I have a pair of glasses. What did I say? TV, computer. I have a pair of glasses to read, and I use them for diamond painting too. And then this last time, I had to get which was like a couple weeks ago, I had to get a pair of glasses just to walk around, like distance ones, which I'm starting to use them to watch TV too. I'm trying to get my eyes accustomed. When I put the ones that are for TV, they seem to work a little better, but I'm starting to wear those ones. So then I can cut them down to like 3, computer, reading, TV, and distance. So I'm trying to make it so I don't have 4 pairs of glasses, but only 3. But isn't that ridiculous? Now the pair for TV, you would think that I'd be able to like drive with them, but I can't. It wasn't far enough. Like it was only a certain distance as far as the TV is. And when the first time I put them on, I was like, oh, our TV does not suck. My vision was to the point that I was like, oh my goodness, like our TV sucks, man. Like I can't see very well. It wasn't our TV, it was my eyes. So I'm hoping I have 4 pairs of glasses right now, but I think I can bring it down to 3. If I can, when you get a new pair of glasses, just to getting used to them. But last night I had to go get my husband. He coaches my grandson for hockey. And last night was their thank you to all the volunteers that helped, coaches and all that helped for hockey. They had a supper for them and entertainment. And that was nice. That was really nice. But it was only for the people that helped. So I wasn't a volunteer, so I didn't go. So they had, one free drink. And we don't drive, even though that we have just the one drink. So him and my son went to school. Well, my son went to school, my husband went to work. And then my son came home with the car. And then when my husband was ready, which was about 9 o'clock, I went to get him. So now let's go back here. I'm gonna do T, which is 939, which is another navy, dark navy. So he was ready around 9. So last night, I just picked up my glasses over the weekend on Friday. So I haven't had a chance to drive with them because I picked them up Friday night. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can see. Like it was so nice. First of all, it was nighttime, which I found it difficult to see at night. I mean, I could see, but I had to squint, when other cars came the other way. And then, so I could see perfectly. And because it was raining, it kind of helped with that. I love them. Oh, and I got put on that in the days. So my husband and I do a lot of walking in the summer. And I always had the dilemma, do I put on my sunglasses and not see well, or do I bring my glasses in case I need to look at something, which were my computer glasses, which still, unless it was really close, I couldn't see anyway. But anyway, I got those so that they'll turn into sunglasses when we go walking. So yay. So I was really impressed for that. Now, last Friday, I had to go again because in my family, there is glaucoma. One of my cousins, she has 3 kids, and all 3 of her kids have glaucoma, and all 3 of her kids are legally blind. I think one is worse than the others, but I'm pretty sure all 3 of them are legally blind. So all they see is shapes. So I have to get tested all the time. And then another cousin, she was diagnosed with glaucoma a couple years ago. So I have to get tested because I have the praetal or whatever. I have my right retina is open like this, and my left is like this. So that, I guess, is a praetal of glaucoma, but that's the only sign that I have. But, you know, it was still at the same stage as it was 4 years ago and 6 years ago, so it hasn't moved. And they send me for a field vision test every year, or every 2 years, sorry. So that's what I went and did last Friday. I went for my regular vision test the week before, did my field test, and now Costco has that that machine, which is awesome. Before, I had to wait 9 to 10 months before I would get the call to go do the test, which was insane. And then it would take them months to send the results to my doctor, my doctor. And so it would take forever. So now they have it there. I went to see her like on a Wednesday, and they made the test for the Friday after. So then my new glasses was there and I could pick them up. And then I started looking at my reading glasses, and the coating started to come off on them. So while I was there, I ordered another pair of glasses because I wanted to see how much was left on our coverage and everything. So I had another pair. Now, the only thing with Costco is they don't call you when you're due for another test. And time flies by so quickly that it had been 4 years. Okay, I thought I'd stop this video because it was already at 30 minutes, and it makes it harder to upload to my computer. The shorter they are, the easier they are to upload. Not easier, they just don't take as long. It had been 4 years, and I was like, oh my goodness. But while I was there, they told me that they're going to start calling people and reminding them they hired somebody new, and they're going to help do the calling to remind you that you have an appointment. So 939 was T. I'm looking to see, oh, there's a little bit there. Since I have it open, I'm not going to go through the whole canvas, but I'm going to do a little bit of them. And already I lost where they were. One here. Here. So it was really, so I did the test on Friday night. It was at 5:15. All of a sudden, we come home. The phone rings, my cell phone rings, and it's Costco. And I'm like, what the heck? I was just there. Did I forget something there or anything? No, it was my doctor. She was calling to say that she read the results and everything was good. I was like, wow. Before, I would have to wait like close to 11 months before I would be able to see, because they don't want to mess around with that. If the glaucoma does, onset, there's treatments they can do, and they want to start them right away. she was telling me that there was this gentleman that waited 3 years to get his field of vision test done. My goodness, like it could get to the point that you'd be almost blind before they even test you. So yes, the other place, it was free where I went to get my field of vision test done, but it's only $30 at Costco, which is good. And I mean, we put it in to see if we can get it covered, but we'll see. If we can't, it's okay. It was $30. Your vision is worth that. So when my kids go, so when my daughter went, she has to get the test done. They said that she was okay. She doesn't need to do the field of vision test. My son went. He was okay. Now my oldest daughter, next time she gets her eyes tested, she's going to get it done too. Okay, I think that's it for the T's. So how about if we do, I don't know how long this has been. I forgot to look at the time when I started. So we'll do one more color and then we'll call it good for this Wednesday. And if you can, like this time it was sort of like get to know me, you know, while I do this. But how about for next time, if you have any questions, put them in the description box below. And the next time I do a paint with me, I can answer the questions. So I think I'll do 3609, which is those right there. And it's just a little section so I can get that done. I guess one of the things that I can ask is, would you rather I do like a section like this and just concentrate? Like this time I did it I kind of go all over the place, and that's kind of how I diamond paint. I kind of open a pretty big section and I kind of go with it. So this is 3609 and it's a beautiful baby pink. So there's quite a few opportunities here for some I better move this over because my hand's going to be sticking all over that. So this symbol here, oh, sorry for the crinkling. I was trying to put that out of the way so you wouldn't hear too much crinkling, but I'm going to try and lift my hand up instead. Maybe I won't be able to do the 3-placer. We shall see. So yeah, just leave if you'd rather I just concentrate it like on a little section or get that done, or kind of do what I normally do, which is once I open a color, I try to get as much done as I can. I'm going to move this out of the way because I can see that's going to be like 100 times louder on the camera. So this symbol is kind of it looks like a little tab inside a circle. That's what it reminds me of. A little tab for scrapbooking. Inside a circle. I still don't know how I mean, as far as placing the circle diamonds, they're no different. I don't find square diamonds hard to place either, though. I think I'm so used to them. I like how they click together. The one thing I don't like is if you have a cheap, I shouldn't say cheap, because some of them I paid still like $25, but the quality of the drills were cheap, and a lot of the drills had little nubbins on the sides, so they couldn't fit next to each other, because a square against a square, it's got to be perfectly square, or they're going to push each other up like that. And then, so that's what they call popping drills. And I had a canvas that I did for my daughter. It was Harley Quinn, which was, I mean, I finished it. It's beautiful. I love it. But, oh, that canvas, not the canvas. The canvas was okay. There was quite a few bubbles on it, but that you just take an X-Acto knife, and then I take a tool and I just flatten out the bubbles. A scoring tool. It works really well. Some people use the tip of their pen, which I find it works okay. But if you take a scoring tool like what you would use to score a card, like card makers, in half, to score their cards in half, if you use that to try to flatten out the bubbles, that works really well. I do have a video on my channel that I showed how I use that, and I really like how it makes your canvas almost perfect. So that was fine. I was able to fix the canvas, but the drills were terrible. So when I finished that canvas, I was like, oh my goodness. I hope I don't have any more canvas from that company, because I don't know if it was just a fluke. And another thing is, it was Harley Quinn, so there was a lot of blacks. And it was the blacks that were the worst. So it could have been just that it was the blacks. Now, last week, I did one that was from Huacan, and it was a brand new canvas that I got not too long ago. And I know there was a lot of people talking about how Huacan and, Drillmageddon and all this stuff, that the drills were really bad. I did that canvas in less than a week. It was a 30 by 40. I had a handful of bad drills. I had a few popping drills, but not bad. As soon as I would roll over it, they seemed to click in place, and I haven't had any drills pop since. I'm going to seal it though, to make sure they don't pop, but they worked out really good. For today, we're gonna stop here. I got quite a bit done. I got this section here, but I got a lot of the outlining of the black done. So next week, next Wednesday, we'll start here. Now that I have the outline done, I think I'll like doing like by color sections, but don't forget to, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section down below, and we will chat next week. Next week too, I think what I'll do is chat a little bit about maybe some of the recent books I've read and talk about those, and obviously no spoilers, and maybe some TV shows that I'm watching, or not really movies because I don't watch a lot of movies, but books and TV shows that I'm watching, and answering some of your questions. And that's it. That's going to be my first WIP and chat, and I hope that you enjoyed that. And we will see you next week. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.